Oh, there we go. That was on mute. I think that's what the problem is. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Yes. I fear much trouble in the fuselage, Frederick. Can you hear me? Yes, no? Yes, okay. For some reason, it's not muted in YouTube, but the app for the camera was muted. So do I have to go? I have to go through the whole thing again. Like I said, welcome Bars and Grills. Missed you, glad to see you again. Decided to do something a little bit different than the usual adult beverage, 8 snacks, soft drink. Decided because the World Cup is a big deal right now that I would do like a tailgate party, even though they don't do tailgate parties in Colombia. To the best of my knowledge, in Bogota at the big stadiums, I don't know if they do tailgate parties. And even if they did do tailgate parties, they probably wouldn't make what we're making today. So we're making a couple of things that I wanted to make that I'm going to kind of pretend would be something that you could serve at a tailgate party. And I'm going to, it's just a few things. I'm not going to go crazy or anything else like that, but I want to make it uniquely Colombian. So there we go. All right, everyone can hear me. All right, so let's backtrack and go back to the Adam Heb is here. Ice Hand is here. Miguel Rangel is here. Adam said, I look very serious in the thumbnail. So, okay, so here's the story with the thumbnail. You guys said, and I say guys figuratively, of course, but you said by unanimous decision, not unanimous decision, but I think it was 58%, but the majority of you didn't want to see any more AI thumbnails. So I said, okay, well, I got to do a regular thumbnail. So I did a couple, and I decided I was going to choose one of those couples. And one of the ones is the one that you see. Now, I might look super serious in that because I have one of Doodle's toys, and it looks like I'm cooking one of Doodle's toys. And I'm super serious because if Doodle walked into the room and saw me cooking one of his toys, he might get a little upset. And then the other thumbnail I took that I might still use like later on is a big cooking pot with Canelo in it. And I'm holding the pot with Canelo in the pot. And I was a little bit hesitant to use it because I didn't want people to think that I was cooking Canelo. It doesn't, it doesn't look like I'm cooking Canelo, but I'm in the kitchen. I got a pot. Canelo's with me. He's cooking with Val. So, I might use that one next time. Okay, Janice, you said you can't hear. You can now. Val's going to mime all his cooking today. Today is mime cooking class. Let's see. Everybody's saying hi. Brenda is here. Brenda, good to see you. Brenda told me she would be here, so posted earlier in the week. Let's see. Janice, Julie, call your dad. I think he's stroking out. Let's see. Got Brenda, got Jules. Let's see, who else? Got Tom, old guy in Colorado. Did I forget anybody? I don't want to forget anybody. So let me know if I did forget anybody. Miguel Rangel, I think I didn't. I think I missed you, Miguel. I feel like opening this window because it's a little bit warm in here. But if you can't stand the heat, stay out of the kitchen, right? Let's see how that works. And this one, maybe open this one too. It's not really windy out, but at least we get some air in here. Let me adjust this a little bit. Video look okay to you guys? I wanted a little bit of a view of the stove. So we kind of got that. That's good. I have the cutting board and stuff here. I can't really show you that, but we'll kind of wing it. All right, let's see. All right, so I did get everybody. I didn't get everybody. You guys let me know. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a couple of things today, or a few things today. So for our beverage, we're going to do our adult beverage and our soft drink. We're going to kind of put them together. So basically, we're going to make refajo. I think I have another refajo episode coming out where I go through the whole thing about refajo and some of it's already. I think I can show you. Hang on. Do I have? Yeah, I do. So Andina, that's another brewery down here. Andina has a refajo. This one has Colombia on it. And for those of you who don't remember, refajo is half beer, half soda. And typically it's Colombiana is a soda that they use for that. And then they make another one, and this one has manzana postobon, and manzana postobon is the apple one. And it's one of their most popular flavors. So these are in the fridge. These are for me. Back to the fridge. All right. So I figure since we're doing like a tailgate party kind of thing, and we're doing, like just a backyard grill kind of Colombian thing, that we're just going to do what, everyday Colombians drink. And for the alcohol, they got their lager, and for their soft drink, they have their Colombiana, and we're going to try both of those and make refajo. So there we go. You're stepping onto my turf, cooking live stream. Tom, are you going to do more live? You haven't live streamed in a long time. So are you planning on doing some more of those? Because those were always enjoyable, watching your cooking live streams. So no, this isn't a regular thing, Tom. This is just every once in a while, just going to do a Cooking with Val. I think we did one before, and usually they're by request. And one of the things we're doing today is kind of by request as well. I'm thinking about starting again. Well, Tom, let us know. Let us know when you do, because we'd like to see that. You always did good. Video is nice and clear. That's good. Grub Warp is here. Welcome, Grub Warp. Good to see you again. Yeah, so we're going to start with our, let's see, how are we doing on time? Well, we still got a little bit of time. We're good. We're doing good. We're going to start with our beverage, and this is a beer. I have to be very careful because the lighting is kind of weird here. So this is Club Colombia. This is from Bavaria Brewery. Bavaria Brewery is like the Anheuser-Busch of Colombia. It's a huge, huge brewery, very, very old brewery, and they make Club Colombia. And Club Colombia is actually pretty good. This is like the regular lager. They make a really good dark one. This one is Dorada, which is gold. I don't know what makes it gold. It is 100% malt, Pilsner, caramel, or caramel Pilsner. A whopping 4.7% ABV. Now, here's the funny thing. Again, 4.7% alcohol by volume is hardly anything, right? But the Colombia Department of Health, can we get that? I'm going to see if we can adjust that light just a little bit so it's not so much in our faces. There we go. So the Colombian Board of Health thinks that 4.7% ABV is excess alcohol. So I'm not sure what's up with that. So that's going to be our adult beverage. And then for our soft drink, our old standby, we've done this before. This is Colombiana, and Colombiana is made by Postobon. It was the first flavor they made, and they call it champagne cola. But now it's just called Colombiana, and everybody knows it's champagne cola. The closest thing I can think of to a drink, a soda that you might be familiar with, is it's probably close to cream soda. It's probably close to cream soda, but they call that champagne cola. They have their Colombian soccer team on the label, the World Cup soccer team, who lost, unfortunately. Jared Tierno has just entered the room. Welcome. Do you need a membership to drink that? Yes, you do. You have to belong to Club Colombia. When you come down here, Jules, we'll get you a membership card. All right, so we're going to try the beer. We're going to try the Colombiana, and we're going to mix them together and make refajo, and that's what we're going to drink throughout this thing, right? So now we're going to make, I'm going to say 3 dishes, but I'm really going to break it down to 2, right? So the first one we're going to do is we're going to do a Colombian hot dog. Sometimes they're called super perro. These are the hot dogs that you can buy on the street from vendors on the street. And some places call them super perros. Let's see. And then there's variations on it. Like there's some places that have something called the salchipapa, which is a salchicha, which is a sausage. There's choripero, which is a chorizo hot dog. But we're going to do the straight ahead Colombian hot dog. Now, you know me, and you know I like to dress things up, and you know I like to change things up a little bit. I'm going to do this one straight. So I'm going to do this one the way you would do a typical, or the way you would find a typical street hot dog. Now, if you look this up, if you look at a Colombian street hot dog, if you look that up, there's a bunch of different things they put on it, but they mostly have the same things. And, sort of like poutine, right? Poutine, you have your French fries properly prepared. You have your cheese curds, and you have your brown sauce. You have those 3 things. But then you can put anything else on you want, and there's variations on that. So we're going to do the basic Colombian street dog. And the basic Colombian street dog is a boiled hot dog, not grilled. I know it kind of goes against every fiber of my being, but it's a boiled hot dog. It's a boiled hot dog, regular hot dog bun, nothing special, no special kind of bread. And then the toppings are which I think is Russian dressing. I'm not sure. You guys can help me out. Janice probably knows this. It's half ketchup and half mayo mixed together. And then there's a pineapple sauce that goes on top of that. And then there's cheese, but it's usually like a farmer cheese or something like that that's kind of grated on the top. We're going to use that. Sometimes they use mozzarella. It depends. And then crushed potato chips. And so we're just gonna do a legit basic Colombian street dog. Now, sometimes people will put other things on it. Sometimes they'll add mustard to that. Sometimes they will add like ketchup in addition to that. Sometimes they will add potato sticks, things along those lines, or even quail egg. They'll put that on top of it. But we're just going to do it. Just going to do a straight Colombian hot dog. So you guys see what a straight Colombian hot dog is. We're not really going to do anything different. We're not going to change the preparation or dress it up or anything like that. We did a Colombian street dog episode. Janice, could you do me a favor and see if you can find the Colombian street dog episode that we did, and you can kind of see as the guy's making it, kind of how he does it. And he put some extra. I think he put some extra things on there that we're not going to put on today. We're going to just do the basic Colombian street dog. Now, the other thing we're going to do is we're going to do a Colombian burger. Now, the reason that we're going to do a Colombian burger is because I posted an episode. I think it was last week. Posted an episode of the Mick Colombia, and the Mick Colombia is a burger that's available at McDonald's, and it's supposed to be representative of Colombia. It's only available in Colombia, and it's a tie-in with the World Cup, obviously. They also have like an Argentina burger and a Mexico burger and everything. But we got the Mick Colombia. We did the video, and I thought personally that it really wasn't that big a departure from things that you normally find, with maybe a couple of things in there that you normally wouldn't find on a burger, anywhere else, like plantains. My issue was that the plantains are like really chewy, and it kind of made the whole burger chewy. The burger is better because, obviously McDonald's in other countries, the meat is better than McDonald's in the US. But is Freak Guru here? Freak Guru just walked into the room. Talk about perfect timing, Freak. So your ears must have been burning because I'm about to talk about you. So I posted the Mick Colombia burger from McDonald's, and was talking about it a little bit, and saying was a little disappointed because it didn't really seem to be that Colombian. And so these were his exact words of the comment he left. He said, I'm just going to say it. You guys can ban me if you want. It's bullshit. We don't get any of this. I get the reason is because American McDonald's has no confidence in Americans trying new things, but come on, give us the option. If this doesn't feel like representing Colombia, I would love to see the Val certified Colombia Mac. Right back at you. So we are going to do that today. We're going to do a Colombian, or what I think is representative of a Colombian burger. We're going to do that today. So we're doing that because you spoke up, Freak Guru. So thank you so much. Thank you, Janice. Janice just posted the link for our Colombian street dog episode. Don't try to watch it too much while we're in the process of doing this. Yes. All right. So again, thank you for that. So you guys, I will never call myself Chef Val. I am not a chef. I don't consider myself a chef. And part of the reason that I will never consider myself a chef is because my sense of timing things is really crappy, right? We're going to do the adult beverage first. We're going to mix the refajo first, so we're not going to do the soft drink later. Then we're going to get into doing the hot dog, and then we're going to do the burger. In the meantime, I'm also going to do a side dish, right? So you can't have hot dogs and hamburgers without French fries, right? Right, but we're not in the United States. They have French fries here. Don't get me wrong, they do have French fries here. They will serve French fries down here with rice. So you'll get a dish that'll have rice and French fries together on it. Crazy, I know. But they will do that. So we wanted to do a side dish that you would have with Colombian hot dog and Colombian burger. So we have opted for papas criollas. So these are papas criollas or Creole potatoes. Now we can get a close up on that. And we are going to make those to have with our food. So I will get more into what we're going to put on the Colombian burger, and we'll have to come up with a name for it. We'll have to put it like I don't want to call it Colombia because it's not McDonald's, it's Val, or it's Trippy Food. I know, so I don't know. I will leave it up to you guys. Leave it up to you guys. Throw out some names if you want. Have some names for this burger. We're going to make a Colombian burger, which is a nod to Colombia. There are some places that actually have stuff like that. There's a chain down here called Hamburgueseria, which means the hamburger place, I guess. And they do one, and it's not very good. I had it. It's not very good. So, yeah, we're not doing French fries. We are doing papas criollas. And so the way I'm going to prepare those is I'm going to coat them with olive oil and a little bit of salt. Normally what I would do if I'm making potatoes like this is, because I'm going to make them in the oven, normally what I would do is I would put salt and pepper on it and maybe a sprinkle of cayenne. I'm just going to do them straight here. If you go into a restaurant, you order papas criollas, they're not going to put anything else on it except salt. And I don't know if they like cook them in butter or cook them in oil or whatever. So we're just sticking with the traditional, and we're just going to do some olive oil and salt, pop them in the oven, boom, ba-doom, make trippy. Oh, what was that we did? We did an April Fool's episode years back. The Trippy meal. We did the Trippy meal from McDonald's. And the thing is like, no one really called me out on it. No one really made a comment of it or anything. So that one just kind of like quietly snuck in there. But yeah, we did the Trippy meal at McDonald's for an April 1st episode a few years back. And I think it was funny. It actually turned out to be actually pretty good. So I put some really crazy things in there, but it actually turned out to be pretty good. Colombian cow. Val special. We should have a board that says Val special. Okay. So let's do this. Let's get into our beverage first. So this, again, is Club Colombia. It is from Bavaria Brewing Company, which is a very old brewery here. Like I said, the kind of like the Anheuser-Busch of Colombia. I hate pouring from a can. All right, so it is Dorada. Dorada is the type of beer it is. And it is a very, very gold color. It smells like a lager. Almost has like a sweet smell to it. Was your Trippy meal anything like the 2020 burger? No, the 2020 burger was something that was like, I don't remember if it was, if somebody had made that and I just reproduced it. So I used the exact same ingredients. And I don't remember if it was that or somebody just, so I think it was somebody from Reckless Eating might've said, make a burger with this, and this on it, which is what we did. So no, the Trippy meal was like good stuff, good edible stuff on it. So it was actually pretty tasty. And the idea of the 2020 burger is somebody decided they were going to try to gross us out by doing the 2020 burger. Full disclosure, it wasn't that bad. It was not that bad, but it did have some really, really strange thing. I think if I remember correctly, it had duck feet on it or something. I don't know. We have it somewhere, and we could pull that up. The murdered cow melange. Yeah, no melange today because we're like I said, we're doing 2 dishes and 1 side dish, so no melange today. Oh, thank you, Janice. Janice posted the Trippy meal episode, so you guys check that out when you get a chance. I think it was fun. It was a lot of fun doing it. The thing is, because it's an April 1st episode, I said that the oldest McDonald's, the oldest existing McDonald's, which is the one in what is that? In California. It starts with Downey, California. The oldest existing McDonald's is in Downey, California. And so what we did for the episode is we said, we're going to go to the oldest McDonald's because this month only they're doing the Trippy meal. And so basically I reused old footage of us going to the oldest McDonald's. I just went to like a McDonald's around the corner from where I was living at the time and just sat in their little table area there and filmed the episode there. So you know, didn't mean to fool you, but it was an April 1st episode. So there you go. Oh, wow. That's really crisp. It smells sweet, but it doesn't taste sweet. It's very, very crisp. I don't mean crisp like crunchy. It has a really nice flavor. I can't say it doesn't have like the alcohol taste that beer has. It does, but it's just really, it's a really, really nice lager. It has like a bite to it. It's not like really, really mellow and everything. It's a good drinking beer. That's really nice. I forgot my golden thumb. I don't know if we need it today. I don't know if we need the golden thumb today. Right? I mean, I'm making this stuff. I'm going to say it tastes delicious, right? Because I'm making it. All right. Yeah, that's really, really good. So now let's move on to the Colombiana. And again, remember, this is from Postobon. I think Postobon was formed in 1902, and this was their first product. So this, what they called it, I don't know if they called it champagne cola back then, but it was their first product, and it's one of their most popular, probably behind the Manzana Postobon. And Postobon is huge, a huge soda company here in Colombia and probably in South America. Really sweet smell. Very sugary smell. Now, when I'm doing something like this, something that's traditional, there's like a zero version of this, and there's a diet version of this and everything. I don't want to use that. I'm going to use the actual sugar, one with sugar in it and everything, because that's the traditional one. That's the one that you're gonna hit. Let's see. This has, okay. It does not have high fructose corn syrup in it. It has sugar in it. So these are made with sugar. Let me see how many calories in that. Calories. Well, that can't be right. 20? Oh, 20,000 calories. Maybe it says kcal, 20,000 kcal. It's a TV station? Maybe it's 20,000? I don't know, but this is the one with sugar in it. So here's what we're going to do. A refajo, and again, it's a traditional, typical drink in South America, is half beer, half soda. And typically the beer is the Aguila, which is really, really popular. And this is typically what they're going to use for the soda. So we're going to do half and half. And that is what we're going to drink or sip on while we do this. Let's see. We have 16 people in here. That's a good number. I like that number. All right, so you can see it kind of changed the color. It's more like the color of this. I think I'm gonna get a straw. So do me a favor, guys. After the live stream, leave a comment and tell me whether you like us doing these Cooking with Vals. I like it because it's a change, but I don't know if you guys like it. I'm gonna use a straw. So get myself ready to drink Mana Mana and Post Malone. Oh, that's nice. I mean, I should be used to that, right? But it's different because I'm using the Club Colombia, and usually I'm using the Aguila. That's really nice. All right, we're gonna leave that there, and we're gonna kind of sip on it while we go. Cooking with Val. Hey, Sonic, how you doing? Welcome. Glad you could make it. Here's the other thing. Now, we did a short featuring this. I don't know that we've ever done, I think we did do aguardiente once. We did a Colombian bar episode where we had aguardiente. It was like an aguardiente juice box. But this I found really interesting because this is aguardiente amarillo. And there's a couple, I think maybe 2 or 3 brands that are doing a yellow, amarillo means yellow in Spanish. They're doing a yellow aguardiente. And so again, we did a short, it's out there somewhere, and drinking this particular aguardiente. Aguardiente is a white rum that is flavored with anise. A lot of them are starting to do it without sugar. So a lot of times they add it with added sugar, so it kind of tastes like candy. This one is sin azúcar, which means without sugar. And some people will put a shot of aguardiente in their fajo. I'm going to add just a tiny bit. I'm not going to put like a full shot in there. I'm just going to add a little bit of this to it. That's like maybe a quarter shot. That changes the flavor. That definitely changes the flavor. It makes it sweeter. So aguardiente is one of those, it's a social drink here in Colombia. And so basically, if you get together for a party or something, somebody's going to pull out a bottle of aguardiente and a bunch of shot glasses, and they're going to pour around in shot glasses. And it's kind of like, I suppose if you're a recovering alcoholic, you would be forgiven for declining. But if not, it's almost rude to decline. Now, I will say that the longer a party goes and the more rounds of aguardiente going around, the party becomes more sincere, right? Because basically what happens is you're losing track of the fact that you're drinking all these shots and your inhibitions are lowered. And so the real you comes out. So I went to Claudia's 40th high school reunion, and I didn't speak much Spanish and they didn't speak much English. I managed to kind of get along with them and everything. And by the end of the night, Claudia said, I had my head in my hand. And I said, I don't understand this. I'm speaking fluent Spanish and I don't know Spanish. And she says, I'm saying it in Spanish. So, go figure. Who let you have a glass straw in a glass yet? A glass straw in a glass. That's like a recipe for disaster. Hey, Val, can you make us some chili dogs? Not today, I can't. So interesting suggestion, Sonic. I would like to make a chili dog, but a chili dog is a chili dog is a chili dog, right? So I would like to make it more interesting. Now, I would say that I don't recall because it was a long time ago, but I think when we went to Chili John's in Burbank, California, they do like a Cincinnati style chili, which is basically used as a topping more so than, just eating a straight bowl of it. And I think when we went to Chili John's, we had one of their chili dogs. I'm not sure. But in the meantime, what I think we can do is we can try to make an unusual chili dog. Like just a straight chili dog, not much, but maybe to find some way to make an unusual chili dog, I think would be a good idea. So I like the idea. Oh, I ate some Tommy's chili dogs today. It was good. Have you ever had Tommy's chili like by itself, like just a cup of their chili? I advise against it. Like on top of the burgers or on top of the hot dogs, it's great. But if you just eat it by itself, not so good. Open to your food ideas. Well, honestly, it's your food idea. I just want to change it up. I just want to make it trippy. So, all right. So I have my water boiling here. We're going to boil our hot dog. I have regular bun. Again, pan. Well, you can see that with light. Pan perro, which means dog bread. I mean, it literally means dog bread, but it's for hot dogs. All right. So I have my water. I guess, is that boiling? Sort of boiling? Okay. Now, nothing I'm making here today, as far as the hot dog goes, we'll get into the hamburger in a little bit. Nothing that I'm making, as far as the hot dog goes, you can't do at home. I'm not using any like really unusual ingredients. I would like to use Colombian ingredients, and I am, but there's nothing special about them. So this is the hot dog I'm using. Parrilla. Parrilla is it's like a grill, like a place where you go to eat grilled meat. That's what parrilla typically is. So this is salchicha parrilla, which is parrilla sausage. Salchicha mixta de cerdo y res, which is pork and beef. It's pork and beef. But honestly, if you have a favorite hot dog, you I like the Hebrew National, the natural Hebrew National ones. I kind of like those. There's one called, I think it's called Applewood or Applegate or something like that. I like those. If you have a favorite hot dog, use those. Please don't use Bar S. Don't use a Bar S hot dog. If you want to try to make this at home, do not use Bar S. Please, use a decent hot dog. Even if you like Oscar Mayer, use Oscar Mayer. That's okay too. How is cooking high elevation? No directions on stuff. Always say different instructions for high elevations. Found that interesting. Yes, it's a good thing I don't follow directions. This one's pretty straightforward. So really, this one's kind of difficult to mess up. I think for it's more complicated if you're doing baking. If you're baking something, it's a little bit more complicated when you're like making baked goods. Claudia has been making I call them loaf, right? Because she makes them in a loaf pan. It's sort of like banana bread or it's sort of like carrot cake, but it's not. And she's using different kinds of grains and everything. They're wonderful. They're delicious. But so she, I think, would know more than me. And again, I think she's making it up. I don't think she's going by recipe. But if you are going by recipe, you do have to take into account the altitude. So that's a good question for Tom because Tom is in Colorado. Tom, what altitude are you at in Colorado when you're baking something? And is it typically in baking, when you're baking something, that you have to be conscious of the altitude, or are there other things that you have to take into account when you're cooking? Tom, if you're there. Nathan's are good, or we have local Burke's hit hot dogs. Yeah, Nathan's are good if you buy them and make them yourself. I have been to a couple of Nathan's. I went to a Nathan's in, I think it was Orlando Airport, and that was pretty good. But Julie and I went to a Nathan's in New Jersey, at one of the New Jersey restaurants. It was not good. So on some things, yes. Other things, not so much. So is it baked things that you have to be conscious of the altitude? What is the altitude where you are, Tom? Because you're pretty much in the mountains. Oh, thank you, Janice. Janice posted the Chili John's episode. So if you guys want to watch that at some point in time, especially Sonic, I think I did do a chili dog on that one. Let's see. They have chili spices sauce pack separate. Awful. Yeah. I like Hebrew hot dogs and Hoffy's. Yes, Hoffy's. Hoffy's are the ones that they use at Pink's, I believe. I believe Pink's uses Hoffy's hot dogs. So Hoffy's are pretty good. And the funny thing is an LA Danger Dog is those hot dogs they sell on the street. They're wrapped in bacon and they're usually served with like peppers and onions and stuff on a shopping cart, with flames underneath it in the shopping cart and everything. They call them a Danger Dog because you're kind of taking your gastrointestinal life in your hands when you eat one of those. Usually they're delicious though. I mean, seriously. But now Hoffy makes bacon wrapped hot dogs, so you can make your own. Let's see. Cayenne all the way. Cayenne are good too. Or Jules, I don't remember which ones, the red snappers that from Maine that we did when we did our Saturday bean supper with the red snappers. I don't remember, but those you can only get in Maine. So if you're anywhere but Maine, don't even try looking for them because you're not going to find them. But those were good too. When Tom is baking, we know he is high. Oh, he's using that special herb ingredient. Ballpark has some good hot dogs. Yeah, Ballpark, Jules, correct me if I'm wrong. Ballpark are the ones they use for Fenway Franks. Is that right? Oh, there is nothing wrong with Bar S. They're not the greatest hot dogs. They just really aren't. The one thing I would say about Bar S hot dogs is when they have the Bar S corn dogs, they're using Bar S hot dogs, but in the corn dogs, they're actually pretty good. So I kind of like them. Let's see. There can be issues with cakes and some types of bread at altitudes. Pies aren't much of an issue. Okay, that's what I thought. Oh, so of course, Miguel Sabret. We did an episode. So Michelle Grant, who also, this is my lucky Michelle Grant apron that Michelle gave me. But Michelle, one time she came back from New York and she brought me back some Sabrett hot dogs, and we did an episode making Sabrett hot dogs. Those were really good too. Grew up on Bar S hot dogs. Yeah, I mean, if you shop frequently at the dollar store, that's what you're going to find at the dollar store. It's a Bar S. I think some of the larger groceries have them as well. I think they used to, when I used to go into Vallarta used to have them. All right, so our water's boiling. I'm gonna put a couple in there. I might not eat two, but just in case. We have our backup. Well, that's complicated, isn't it? Let me try to get this open. Oh, there we go. Nice smell. Uncooked. No hot dog water, though. Now, again, remember, if you're going to make a traditional Colombian hot dog, it's boiled. It is not grilled. It is not steamed. It is not, made in the oven. They're grilled. They're always grilled. Didn't buy them. My parents did, but I still buy them sometimes. Yeah, well, me too. I think I've done Barra stuff before. Hillshire Summer Spicy Beef Sausage is the ultimate hot dog. I've not tried those, but I will. Hillshire Farms does some good hot dogs. Oh, thanks again. Janice posted the Sabrett hot dog episode for those who want to see me eat a Sabrett hot dog. I think, if I'm not mistaken, in that episode, I ate Sabrett's hot dogs and with sauerkraut from the Pickle Guys in New York, because she brought some of that back too. So, so good. For anyone interested, you can order Maine Red Snapper dogs on Amazon. Yeah, but what's the brand, Jules? It was something like somebody's initials and their last name, and maybe brothers or something. Do you remember, Jules? Johnsonville sausage is amazing. I didn't remember it being amazing. I just remember it being pretty good. And there's some good vegan sausages too. Like if you want to make this vegan, you can do that. I think like Morningstar is pretty good. And then there was another one that we did that I thought was really good too. Stay away from Loma Linda though. The one in the can packed in water. I'm not sure how, these are already cooked. I'm just kind of heating them up. All right, so let's get our bun ready. And again, nothing special about this bun. It's not like, some special grain or, yuca or anything else like that. It's just a Colombian hot dog. The brand is Horneaditos, which is like little baked goods, I think is Horneaditos. I think we did a snack from Horneaditos. It has some sesame seeds on it. How do you open this thing? Is this not pre-sliced? Okay, I'm going to turn that off so we don't boil that to death. And I guess we have to open that ourselves. All right. So a Colombian street hot dog is going to have several things on it. One of the things it's going to have on it is pineapple sauce. And we made this pineapple sauce earlier. I was going to do it on camera, but it got a little bit complicated. So I had to take a fresh pineapple, chop that up, add a little bit of water to it, put it in a blender. Put it in the blender, put it through a sieve, so you're just getting kind of the juice through that. Then a little bit of lime juice and cornstarch and water. So basically we're using the maizena cornstarch. And so basically put I think it's a tablespoon of cornstarch. No, a teaspoon and a half cornstarch and a tablespoon of water. Mix that together, put that in the mixture, heat that up, and then you have a nice thick pineapple sauce. So this is our pineapple sauce that we're going to put on top of that. And then the other thing we're going to put on it is I'm not sure if it has a name, but it is a sauce that is made with half ketchup and half mayo. And the question is like, well, how much? Is it a half a cup and half a cup? It's like, it's half and half. If you want to make a teaspoon and a teaspoon, it's a teaspoon and a teaspoon. So we're going to put our salsa de tomate, which you learned last week or the week before. Salsa de tomate is ketchup. I'm just eyeballing this because that's how my mom taught me to cook. How much do I put in, Mom? You know that much. Hot dog pastrami burrito is great. Love Okie Dogs. Yeah, old greasy place in Fairfax, California. Sonic, speaking of that, did you see Reckless Eating this week? We did a We Go Maine show, and I took Matt and Death Toll to Okie Dogs, and we had Okie Dog. So that was, I think, last week or so. So yeah, we definitely did that too. So again, half ketchup, half mustard. Now somebody, and I'm Tom, I'll bet you know this, isn't ketchup and mayo mixed together, isn't that Russian dressing? Pretty sure it's Russian dressing. We're going to mix this together. It's going to be our other topping. Yeah, Okie Dog is good. I love Okie Dog, but while I'm eating it, I always feel like I'm going to die. I feel like I'm going to die right afterwards, after eating Okie Dog. Yeah, check that out. We went to a few different places. I think I'm trying to remember because he did another one earlier in the week from the same trip. We went to the Rock Walk Hall of Fame at Guitar Center in Hollywood. We went to the Hollywood nightclub area, like where the Viper Room and the Whiskey A Go Go and the Rainbow Room and stuff are. So we did that. How much spice do we add? About that much. You put in about that much. My mom didn't have an Italian accent. She didn't speak. Her parents spoke Italian because her parents were from Italy. But my mom never spoke Italian because she tried to when she was a kid. And her father said, you don't have the tongue for it. Don't do it. So she never learned Italian and she didn't have an Italian accent. She had a, what do you call that? A mid-Atlantic American accent, which is like what I have. So I lived in Massachusetts for, I don't know, about 26 years or so. And I was born in Pennsylvania, moved to Massachusetts when I was 6, never dropped the R. And so I think I still have that mid-Atlantic accent. I think because I was like 6 years old when I lived in Pittsburgh, and so I still have that hard R sound sometimes, but I don't think I ever dropped that. Wow, Janice, you're on top of it. So Janice posted the Okie Dog episode from Reckless Eating the Main show. So if you want to watch us go to Okie Dog, there it is. Sauce, add 1 grated onion, splash of hot sauce, and smoked paprika. Russian dressing, mayo, and ketchup. Yeah. With horseradish and Worcestershire, hot sauce, and smoked paprika. Yeah. And the thing is like, I would love to dress that up. I would love to put I have hot sauce. I could put hot sauce in here. I'm just going to do, for this, because this is going to be different for some of you, I'm just going to do straight ahead Colombian, without dressing it up, pepping it up a little bit. All right. So we have that. Let's see. What am I forgetting? I'm not forgetting anything. Okay. So let's get our hot dog. Put our hot dog in our sesame bun. Our dog bread. Ooh, that's funny. It looks like an artificial casing. I hope you can eat that. It doesn't tell me I can't. All right, so we have that. Let me get a spoon. So we have our pineapple sauce. Your hot dog looks well cooked. Well, they're already cooked, really. You're just kind of heating them up. Well cooked would be like on a grill, where they start to turn black. Or like if you're getting a ripper at Rutt's Hut in New Jersey. All right, so we're going to put the pineapple sauce on it. Maybe I can show you that. Let's see. So here's our pineapple sauce. Okay, and again, it's basically pineapple, a little squeeze of lime, cornstarch. Oh, and sugar. It calls for sugar. I didn't want to put too much sugar in here because, again, this is going in a hot dog. I don't want it to be overly sweet, but it did call for sugar. And so what I use instead of sugar is this. This is panela. And panela is basically they take, they juice a sugar cane, right? They put it through a machine that kind of liquefies that. Then they put it in these little blocks, these little pans, and they let the moisture evaporate from it. And then what they end up this. So it's kind of like sugar in its purest form. If you've ever been to like a Mexican grocery or you're familiar with Mexican cooking and everything, Mexico has a version of this. They call it piloncillo. And piloncillo is cone shaped, whereas this is usually in a brick. So it's always funny. It's like if you go to Colombia and you see this and you go like, I'm going to take some of that back for you because I think that would be fun. You bring something like this back on the plane, you're going to get questions. Pineapple dot. Well, it's a perro caliente. I think is basically what they call it. Perro caliente. It's a hot dog. I made chili yesterday, my own recipe. Oh, hey, Picris is here. Welcome, Picris. What did you? What was in it? What did you make that made it special or different? Does anyone remember the TV show Matlock? Yeah, Andy Griffith's character was always eating hot dogs. I don't blame him, and that's my comfort food right there. All right, so we put the pineapple sauce on it, and now we're going to put our ketchup and mustard mix, or our mini Russian dressing, if that's what you want to call it. And again, sometimes, like I said, sometimes they'll put mustard on here. Sometimes they'll put a quail egg on here. We're not going to do that. So we have our pineapple sauce and our ketchup and mayo sauce. And now the pièce de résistance, crushed potato chips. So we are using Margarita chips. You guys can tell from this logo who owns Margarita. Margarita was a separate company. I think it was founded in the 1950s. It was a potato chip company that was made in the 1950s, Margarita was. But they've since been bought by somebody else. Does anyone recognize the logo? Anybody? Lay's, correct. Found it. All right. And this is limon flavor. As you know, limon in Spanish is not lemon. I would think it would be, but it's not. Limon in Spanish is lime. And lemon is limon amarillo. Hang on. Hello, Canelo. Do you want to say hi? Canelo, do you want to say hi? Hang on a second. Canelo's here. He keeps jumping on my calf. Not my baby cow, part of my leg. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take some of these chips. I'm going to put them in this plastic bag. And we're going to break the crap out of them. Who doesn't like Gilligan's Island? The thing is, it's so far-fetched, right? Like the professor, he could make a car and he could make a washing machine and he could make a radio and batteries. He couldn't make a boat. It was so it's kind of far-fetched. It seems like the men on that show always wore the same clothes. I think maybe Mr. Howell kind of changed his clothes up every once in a while, but Skipper, Gilligan, and the professor always wore the exact same clothes. And then Ginger Grant somehow had her entire wardrobe with her for a 3-hour tour. Jules, that's usually how it works. It didn't in this case, though. All right, so we have our crushed potato chips. And again, they are Margarita, which is from Frito-Lay, which is now PepsiCo. And they are limon flavored, so they are lime flavored. And I'm just going to sprinkle those on the top. Now, I would tell you that if you are going to buy one of these on the street, one of these Colombian hot dogs, it's going to look a little bit more fun. And the reason it's going to look a little bit more fun is because they have those sauces in like a squirt bottle. And so they're going to do like a little, zigzag thing. So it's going to look a little bit different and look a lot more fun. And they're probably going to put a lot more on it. I put a decent amount on it. But I didn't go crazy with it, only because it's kind of a small hot dog. Some of the ones you buy on the street are a little bit larger. So here we go, our Colombian hot dog. Well, Sonic, it's going to have some sweetness to it. I need a napkin. Going to have some sweetness to it because it has the pineapple sauce, ketchup, which is sweet. The chips give it a nice texture. Again, I've had these before, and some of them, like, they put like potato sticks on them. Potato sticks are big down here. Well, a lot of what they use them for is like when they're making tomato soup, they'll put those potato sticks in the tomato soup. I found out what the boat was in Gilligan's Island, a 1964 Wheeler Craft cabin cruiser. Who knew? That is a damn fine hot dog. That tasting, they're like plastic. Let me see if they tell you to take that off. They do not. But honestly, it's like plastic. I suppose if you're going to put this on the grill, that kind of either burns off or crisps up or something, but boiled it doesn't. So essentially what we did was we boiled it in that casing, which kind of kept that hot dog together. Heard a metal rock version of Gilligan's Island theme totally gave it a different feel. I imagine it would. Nothing like a good hot dog. You are absolutely correct, Picus. My go-to for like if I'm like just like I need a hot dog and I want the best. Is it the best hot dog? I don't, maybe not, but it is like heaven, and it is the best deal ever. And that's a Costco hot dog. You go to Costco, $1.50. It shouldn't change because they're not allowed to change it, even though they lose money on it. Costco hot dog. I think the toppings they have for it is mustard and relish and maybe onions. I'm not sure. They used to have, if you could ask for sauerkraut, they don't do that anymore. So, but you get that and a large drink for $1.50, and you just can't beat that anywhere. And it's a really, really good quality hot dog. What Costco did was they've always lost money on it, but it gets people to get into Costco. But they were losing a lot of money on it. And so what they decided to do is, I don't remember which brand they were using, but they decided, you know what, we'll make our own hot dogs and we'll save a little bit of money. So they use Kirkland hot dogs, which are hot dogs they make themselves. And if you go into a Costco and you go into the place where they sell the hot dogs, you can buy the Kirkland hot dogs there. So it's the same hot dogs they sell, out front in the food court. Well, you can get them there as well. Just got back from Costco. Did you get hot dogs, Jules? Hot dog, French fries with chili and apple juice. Best quick meal like Costco. Do you get apple? Can you get apple juice at Costco? I don't remember getting apple juice. You get a soda. I don't know if you get apple juice. And I'm trying to remember if they have French fries. Sometimes I'll get the hot dog for $1.50, and then I'll get a slice of pizza as well. Now, the pizza is pretty good. I mean, it's not, it's not gourmet by any means, and it's not like frozen pizza either. Remember the sauerkraut crank dispenser at Costco? I don't remember them having a dispenser. I remember you had to ask for it. So you said, "Can I have some sauerkraut?" And they had it in little cups, like under the table. They would give you the sauerkraut, but you can't even get them anymore. Tom, there was a rumor that Jimmy Page was inspired by the Gilligan's Island theme when he was writing Stairway to Heaven. Oh, somebody did. This was years and years ago. They did a mashup, and it was like Stairway to Gilligan's Island, and they kind of put the songs together. If you do a YouTube search, you can probably find that. Icehan, do a Google search for Stairway to Gilligan's Island, and then you can hear that mashup where they put the two of those together. Girls got pizza. I got the chicken strips. Nobody get the hot dog? Makes me sad. There's no Costco down here either. So like, I want a Costco hot dog. I'm SOL. I like a hot dog pan fried in butter with mustard and fried onions. So when you say fried onions, are you talking about like sauteed onions? and it's sauteed in the same pan with the hot dog. That would be cool. That sounds really, really good. Let's see. I saw you were buying roast chicken. I was buying frozen egg roll. Geez. Sonic, I sincerely doubt you were at the same Costco as Julie. Which video is that, Tom, that you posted? Is it the Stairway to Gilligan's Island? Metal Gilligan's Island song link above. Okay, Metal Gilligan's Island song. But again, this was years back. They did Stairway to Gilligan's Island, and they kind of mashed it up. I think they used both songs the way they were and just put them together. But like really cooked till they're sweet. Yeah. What kind of onions do you use? Like a red onion, or do you use a white onion, a yellow onion? So again, this hot dog, it's going to get, it would get a thumbs up, but it was just me making a Colombian hot dog for you. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I have not got the side dish started, so I'm going to do that before we do the burger. So we are going to do, again, these are papas criollas, or Creole potatoes. I just found out recently, because I was reading about it, that the Creoles were the Europeans that were born in Colombia. So the native born, or the Europeans, or I guess the first, what do you call it? Anything past the firstborn in Colombia. So, and they kind of considered themselves elite, but that's what the Creole was. So that's why you have like papas criollas, and we're going to make salsa criolla for the burger. All right, so I'm going to take just a little bit of olive oil. Oh, Mom didn't work. You have lots of magnets. Yeah, I do. Anything interesting? Well, a lot of them are those, I think they call it these balconies. So they look like the little houses do down here. So I have some of those. What else we have? We have this, this one's more representative. This is like the piggy banks that they make in Rakira, which is famous for their clay pottery. I think we did a Rakira episode. The village is known for their pottery, and they make these little piggy banks. And there's one place there that you can go where they have a one of the piggy banks that looks just like this, except it's 30 feet tall, and you can go inside it and you come out on the nose and wave at people. So we have that. Let's see, there's some Frida Kahlo magnets. Oh, and there's this, which is Doodle, which the girls made for me. So the grand girls made that for me. And you notice that Doodle is wearing a Colombian collar. So that's a Doodle made out of, I don't know what you call these things. Julie would know. But that's Doodle. I'm going to sip on my Refajo. All righty. So we have our potatoes in here. I'm going to add some olive oil and some salt. This is pink Himalayan salt. It doesn't matter. Use whatever you have. I like to make potatoes in the oven. Typically, and anytime I'm making potatoes, I do the same thing. Like I like to do this with fingerling potatoes. You guys can try this too. Sometimes I'll make it in the broiler. Like if I'm making a piece of fish and I'm going to put it in the broiler, and I'll do this with the potatoes, and I'll just stick them in the broiler. I use fingerling potatoes. The one that the medley, I know they have that at the Kroger stores, which are like the red potatoes, the blue potatoes, the gold potatoes, and everything all mixed together. I like to use those in the fingerlings because, just take biteful of them. You don't have to break them apart. We'll have to make Catanello. Catanello, that's funny. Canelo. So for those who don't know or haven't met Canelo, you've seen him. I've picked him up in episodes. Canelo is a Chihuahua. We think he's a Chihuahua that we found, and he didn't have a home, and so we made him a home. And we call him Canelo because Canelo is the masculine version of Canela, which is cinnamon. And he's the cinnamon color, so we call him Canelo. They do look 8-bit. You're right, Jules. I was wondering what Catnello was. Hey, Steve Russell, how's it going? Okay, so I have my pan. I'm going to take my oven. I'm going to heat that up to 400 degrees. We're going to do that for 20 minutes. It might be done after our burger. Again, my timing isn't great. I'm going to put them in here. And I'm going to pop that in the oven. So that is our potato of choice today. All right. So let's get going with the burger. This one's going to be a little bit more complicated. So I need to make salsa criolla, so I'm going to do that first. Now, again, I don't know if you guys remember this because we did the salsa criolla for the pescuezo po' boy. And so that is made with 3 things: tomato, onion, and butter. So basically, you put the butter in the pan, you saute the tomatoes and the onions, and voila, you have, just making this little pan. I think I will make it in a little pan. So and again, this is going to be a topping. So we'll start with our butter. Let that melt, and I'm going to cut me up some tomato and some onion. I have some red onion. You don't have to use red onion. You can use white onion, yellow onion, whatever you like. Okay, so let me cut this up. You don't want to cut it up too small or too big. Quick question: how many times have you dinged your coconut on the oven hood? I haven't yet, but now that you mention it, I will. So how many people do this? When you're cutting tomatoes, you had that little piece with where the stem was. I'm going to eat that. I don't let anything go to waste. Or like a bell pepper, the part where you break the stem off. I just eat that whole pot, that whole top part. It doesn't cut well for like putting it in stuff. So these are Roma tomatoes, grown locally, of course. You don't need to cut them too small. They do cook down. This is me cutting and not talking at the same time because I'm good at multitasking, but I'm not great at multi-threading. And I value my fingers. Let's see, is that enough? I think it's enough. I don't think we have to make that much. So that's enough of that. Let's turn it down a little bit. Okay, and now my onion, red onion. Yeah, I like red onions too. They're the only kind well, that's not true. I was going to say they're the only kind I like raw. But like chopped white onions on a hot dog, I don't mind. But sliced white onions on a salad, I don't like because I think it has a tendency to overpower the salad. Again, this is me cutting and not talking so that we're not making finger food. You know, food with Val's finger in it. I think that's what finger food is. I think we have like a chopper. You know those things you put the stuff in it and I think we have something like that. I don't know where it is. So I think we're just doing it this way. We're like the grass. We're making do. That was a grass joke. Not a good one. Again, my sense of timing is impeccable. So salsa criolla, a lot of times it's used as a topping, but other times it's used to cook things in. So some things are just slow simmered in it. One of my favorite dishes is lengua in salsa criolla, which is, you know, they'll make the salsa criolla, they'll make a lot of it, and then they'll simmer beef tongue in it. And oh my God, it is just so good. How many of you like beef tongue? How many of you even had beef tongue? Those of you who had it, do you like it? All right, so that should be enough for what we're doing because we just need enough to cover the hot dog. So I'm gonna put the onions in there. And the tomatoes right in there. Stir that up a little bit. And let those cook down. So I have it on a low heat. I think I'm going to put a lid on that. Put a lid on it, Val. Where are my lids? Where are they? Oh, here we go. I forgot you can't see that. No, I was going to pick that up. That would have been fun. So we have our salsa criolla simmering in here. So that's nice. All right, we got that done. So now let's get the burger ready. So I have and again, I want this to be a Colombian thing. I want this to be something that is more representative of Colombia than the Mick Colombia was, in my humble opinion. Never had it. That I know my Dutch grandparents loved beef tongue. Yeah, I think it depends on how you make it. Like if you boil it, not that great. Had lengua tacos and they were good. Oh, lengua tacos are amazing. All depends on the sauce it's cooked in. Yeah. Had lengua tacos, a little chewy, but good. Creek, you need to find a place that makes better lengua tacos because typically it's just a really nice texture, not very chewy at all. So it depends on how cooked or uncooked it is. I think. How do you open this sucker? We are using a 85-15 ground beef. 85-15 means 85 or 15% fat to beef. And it is carne de res, which is beef, just name for beef. All righty. So we're going to take we don't need a lot of this, and I'll tell you why. Because for the bun, we are going to use, for the bottom of the bun, we're going to use an arepa. For the top of the bun, we're going to use almohabana. I will explain to you what they both are in a minute here. So I got a little bit of ground beef. They're going to kind of be almost, if that's going to be the bun, they have to fit inside that. So they're going to be like a little bit bigger than a slider. Now, in addition to that, in addition to ground beef, we are going to add some morcilla. And we've done morcilla before. Morcilla is a blood sausage. Usually has like rice and peas. I'm not sure what else they put in it. They sometimes put some other things in there. Oh my God, that salsa criolla smells so good. And again, excess sodium, excess saturated fat. So good and so good for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this out of its casing and we're going to mix it in with the sauce, with the beef. There we go, like so. I'm going to break that up. So it occurred to me, you guys have seen me do the pescuezo de gallina relleno. You guys have seen me do that, and it occurs to me that's just chicken morcilla. That's all that is. I'm going to turn that off and just kind of let that sit. That smells really good. All right, these I'm going to put back in the refrigerator so they don't go bad. Hello, Canelo. You smell food? It's going to be breakfast during the week. Cook some of this up with some eggs. How many of you had any kind of blood sausage? There's a bunch of different kinds. So you have, what is the Korean one? Sundae. Sundae is a Korean blood sausage. There's black pudding, which, you know, could be considered blood sausage. A lot of different cultures have a blood sausage. So I'm just going to kind of mix the ground beef and the sausage together and the blood sausage together. And like I said, I want this to be indicative of Colombia. I want this to be like uniquely Colombian. So you're probably asking yourself, well, Val, I just remember what I forgot to put on the hot dog. I'm such an idiot. I forgot to put cheese on a hot dog. So typically they'll use, I have it out. Oh, that's why I forgot to put it on, because I don't have it out. They'll put like a campesino cheese, like a semi-hard, high moisture cheese, like cuajada, or you know, like a very moist cheese, moist semi-hard cheese, and they will typically use that to put on top of, you know, they'll grate that and put that on top of the hot dog. I did not do that, so points off Val. I think that, you know what? I still can. See, this is what happens when you leave it in the refrigerator and you're doing a live stream and you forget. That's what happens. I have a sharp knife in my hand, so I'm trying to focus. I have a sharp knife in my hands, but not in my hand. That would suck. Yeah, I like blood sausage too. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I think we use the same hot dog. That's kind of an old hot dog now. All right, let's make a new one. We still have our hot dog in here. Got a potato chip in that meat. How are we doing on time? We're doing great on time. Time is awesome. Time is fleeting. I've got to keep control. All right, here we go. Hot dog. And I'm going to take this one out of the casing because that casing just kind of stuck there. Hot dog in the bun. Let's see. Okay, our ketchup and mayo mixture. Need another spoon. I am making such a mess. Our pineapple sauce. Let's put our cheese on first, then we'll put our chips on. And again, if you guys want to make one of these, there's really nothing that you can't find the ingredients wherever you are. So the nice thing about this cheese is it doesn't really melt. And so you get that kind of cheese texture in there. There we go, our cheese on top of that. And our crushed potato chips. Now, some of you, if you don't like people touching your food with your hands, you might be taken a little bit aback if you get one of these Colombian hot dogs on the street where the guy's using his hands to do this stuff. All right, so now we have it with the cheese on it. We're going to try that. And I took the casing off, so we're not going to get it like a mouthful of artificial casing. Wonderful. Those chips add that texture, that saltiness and that texture. And then the cheese, a completely different texture, nice flavor, really, really nice. Yeah, exactly, Jules. Okay, but everybody, looks like everybody who has had any kind of blood sausage really liked it, so that's cool. All right, so really good. Let me find a container for this. That is a mighty fine hot dog. All right, so here's our ground beef. Let's get that started. I can't tell if the camera came up a little bit or I went down a little bit. Okay, now for on top of the burgers, we're going to keep it simple. Now, I'm not going to make it a cheeseburger. Oh, that looks yummy. I don't want to overcook that. I'm going to take the top off. I think, honestly, I can get 2 out of that because we're not doing big burgers only because we don't have big buns. Big bottom, talk about mud flaps. My girl's got 'em. I think that's good. Yeah, that's about the right size. It's going to cook down a little bit, but I think that's a good size. Yep, that'll work. So remember, this is beef, ground beef, mixed with blood sausage, or morcilla to be specific. I get this. I'm surrounded by a mess here, but you know, taco de chango next time, maybe. Eat a hot dog. Oh yeah, let's forget that. Taters are up. Here are our potatoes, nice and crispy and brown. Now, while that's going, I am going to get the bottom bun ready. So what I'm going to do is that's hot, and not in the Paris Hilton way. That's really hot. Okay. What I'm going to do is put some foil on top of that. And we're going to do our bottom bun, which are arepas. And these arepas are arepa rellena, which means stuffed arepas, and they're stuffed with mozzarella cheese. So that's why we're not doing a cheese, because these have cheese in them. So we're not going to put cheese on top. Oh my God, those smell good. Okay, so I got my arepas. Those are going in the oven. Let's flip our burgers. And here's the funny thing about the burgers. Because we put black pudding in there, because we put morcilla, which is a blood sausage, because we put our blood sausage in there, when those cook, they turn black. So you got these black spots on there. It looks like the burgers are burnt. They're not burnt. They just have this black spot on them. All right. So our arepa is going to be on the bottom. Our almohavana is going to be on the top. I don't think we have to cut these or anything. We're just going to put that right on the top. And then we're going to put our salsa criolla on top. And I think what we're going to do is we're also going to add a fried egg. And again, everything that I'm using here, is our Colombian ingredients, right? Some of these you would be able to find, some of them maybe not. I'm going to make the egg with butter. Who's cleaning up afterwards? I flipped your burgers before you did. What kind of? Used a bird. Oh, you flipped me the bird. Okay. Well, they're not really French fried potatoes. They're papas criollas. They're roasted potatoes. And again, there's different ways to make them. You can fry them, etc. We just decided to make them in the oven. See how we're doing on the burger. I could do these a little bit rare, but because there's blood in there, I want to make sure that they're cooked. Well, that really cooks down, doesn't it? So unfortunately, what I think is going to happen here I'm going to move those on off the heat, kind of leave them there, wait for our bun, which should be done shortly. So again, our mozzarella stuffed arepas on the bottom, then our burger, then our salsa criolla, and then egg, and I think we're good. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. Let's see, make sure I'm looking at everything that I got. No, I'm not forgetting anything. Oh, no. On top of that, we are going to put these. So I thought about putting plantains on, very similar to what the Mick Colombia had on it, except that theirs were like really chewy and everything. So I've opted to do, what the hell? Did you throw that or did it fall?
You need a mitt.
Oh, but not now. It's too late now.
No, the pan's pretty hot right there.
I just had this thrown at me. It's covered with butter now. I think Claudia was watching and she saw me drop that hot tray. And so she says, I need a mitt. I do need a mitt. But I had it thrown at me and it's just like out of nowhere. All right. I need a drink. All right, so here's our butter. Yeah, let's use the mitt. Yeah, she's going to throw the chancla next. I think she's going to throw the chancla next. All right, so let's get an egg started here. Now, typically, I would do over easy, but I'm not going to do that here because I don't want to bite into the burger and have egg yolk go everywhere. You will notice, I don't know if you can see that, you'll notice that for some reason here, the egg yolks are this bright orange color as opposed to the yellow egg yolks in the state. I don't know what makes them that. It could be something in the chicken's feed. It could be the breed of chicken. I honestly don't know where that comes from. So I'm just going to put the top on there, let that cook like that. Mix up my salsa criolla a little bit. What did I say I was missing? Oh, the plantain chips. I was in mid-plantain chip sentence when I was assaulted by an oven mitt. So again, in the Mick Colombia, they had chewy, very, very chewy platanos or plantains. And it kind of took away from the burger because it was like, really hard and chewy. So these are plantain chips. It's the exact same thing, except these are fried and they're very, very thin and crispy, right? So they just kind of break apart. So I thought I would use these instead of the ones that they use that were like really, really chewy. Welcome to my world, trashing the kitchen on live stream. Yeah, that's the way to go. Is Janice around? Oh, Taylor Swift has entered the room. Welcome, Taylor. Glad you could make it. Again, Taylor had mentioned earlier in the week, left a comment and said, I think it was one on the thing that I posted saying that we were going to do a Cooking with Val. I think they posted that they were going to be on the live stream. So welcome, Taylor. If you don't clean that kitchen, she'll throw you. She will. I just saw that she just posted pictures of the chanclas. All right. I think that's done. We're just waiting on the arepas. Let me get that off heat. And I don't know if these are cooked or you have to cook them. Let's see. There's no directions, so I think you just have to heat them up. So we have a plate here. We have an oven mitt here. Let's see how these are doing. I think I've switched to broil so that these brown up a little bit and give these about another 5 minutes. And then we're all set. In the meantime, I'm going to put my ground beef in the refrigerator so that doesn't go bad. And again, something else to eat this week. So that goes in the refrigerator. My other arepas go in the refrigerator. My hot dogs go in the refrigerator. I don't know how they do it on these cooking shows. I think maybe on the cooking shows what they do is you're just seeing like the whole thing just like kind of edited, right? And because they're using different camera angles. I think like at some point in time somebody's taking something away. They probably have like a staff that like somebody's done with a bowl, they whisk that bowl out of the way, and they take things out of the way. One of the things that I did want to show you is that for the lime, I don't have any limes handy, but we have several kinds of lemons growing in the yard. We have Meyer lemon, which are generally sweet. And we have this, and this, how well you can see that. This is called a variegated pink lemon, variegated pink lemon. So you can see that. Let's see if we can get that. There we go. You can see how it has the stripes on it. And when these are fully mature inside, they're pink. Now, I've seen some of these that when you cut them in half, they're almost like this orange color, so not really pink. But these are a little bit sweeter than a typical lemon is. And I like those. Those are typically used for like pink lemonade. And so I use these anytime that I had to use lemons today. All right, again, like I said, let's give them another minute. Nashies is here. Welcome, Nashies. Let's see. Everybody saying hi. Claudia's saying hi, everyone. Well, it's a little late now, isn't it? Your introduction was throwing a chancla at me. No, it was not a chancla. It was a oven mitt. And I have some more of this hot dog. Now, so that's the inside of that. Let's see. That's the inside of that lemon. And you can see it's kind of like a greenish, almost orangish color. Not yellow, like a typical lemon. And again, remember, limon in Spanish is lime, not lemon. Lemon is limon amarillo. That's a good hot dog. I'm sorry. That's good. Now, I get a plate ready. And get my filthy cutting board out of the way. And again, like some people like mustard, ketchup, whatever on their burger. But again, we have the salsa criolla. I think that's enough for as far as like, some kind of sauce on it. And typically in Colombia, when you order a burger, it typically does not have tomato and lettuce on it. So we do have tomato covered because there's tomato in the agao. Oh, everybody's saying hi. All right, let's see how these are doing. I think that's going to be fine. Canelo, do you want to say hi? You want to say no? I said, Canelo, do you want to say hi? He runs away. All right. So here's our arepa. That light is annoying. Here is our arepa. Again, these are typically made of corn. Arepas are really like every department. And remember, a department is kind of like a state here in Colombia. Every department kind of has their own. So you have your like arepas boyacense, which is like arepas from Boyacá. You have your arepas santafereño, which is like from the area near Bogota. Everybody kind of makes different ones. So some of them are like bigger ones. Some of them are stuffed with stuff. There's arepas choclo, which is made with the Andean corn. So there's probably like 10 different varieties of arepas. And then in Venezuela, they even have some different stuff, and they do different things with them. So they have bigger ones that they stuff. So they'll basically fold them over and put meats and stuff inside them. Haley has loved them since Claudia's. Do you guys still buy them? Because I know you can get that at Market Basket, where there's more for your dollar. I know that you can get them there. So are you still buying the arepas at Market Basket, Jules? All right. So here's our arepa. Let's stick a burger on that. They really did cook down. So you can see the meat kind of cooked down there. When they have the good ones, yeah. Arepas are just so awesome. All right, so we have that. Let's put our agao on there. So again, remember, this is a mixture of butter, tomato, and onions. It's sauteed. So we're going to put that right on top of the burger. And remember, the burger meat is ground beef mixed with the inside of a morcilla, which is a blood sausage. All right. So this is going to be much more, I think, Colombian representative than what McDonald's had. And again, remember, we're not adding cheese to this because there's cheese inside the arepa. Let's put our fried egg. I need a spatula. Oh, here we go. Put our fried egg on top of that. And our almohabana as a bun. Almohabana, let's talk about that for 1 second. Almohabana is baked. It's sweet, and it's typically made from white cornmeal, cottage cheese butter, baking powder, salt, eggs, and milk. So any of the places that have like little baked things, little fun baked little things, they'll have almohabana. So there we go. I need to take a picture of that, I think. Let's do that, and let's put some of these potatoes on there that I'm going to pick up with my bare hands because I'm an idiot. So there we go. So here's our Colombian burger, fried egg, agao. The meat is a mixture of ground beef and morcilla. We have an arepa for the bottom bun. We have an almohabana for the top bun, and we have our papas criollas. Yum. It looks delicious, but we're going to find out in a second. What was I was going to look for something. Well, I got to take a picture of this. let me go back and look because I asked you guys what you wanted to call it. That seemed like a long time ago. Let's see. Did we? Colombian cow or vaca colombiana, I think is what we put. Colombia Mac. Let's see. Colombia Mac, Colombian cow or vaca colombiana, Trippy, Val Special, the murdered cow melange, and or moulange, I think is what Jules said. All right, so we have, well, let's do a poll. Let's do a poll, shall we? Yes, let's do a poll. Stereo poll. Okay, so we had, let's see. We add these. And then you guys will vote on the name. If I can find, oh, that's way back there. Hang on. Okay. Colombia Mac. 35. Nobody's. There's Colombia Mac. And Vaca Colombiana. Or Colombian cow. Or McTrippy. Or Val's Special. Did I forget any? Let me know. I don't know if I forgot one or not. I think those were, let's see. Oh, Moulin. There was the murdered cow melange. Oh, it won't let me add any other ones. There was also a moulange. So it will only let me add 4. And all right, so I can only put 4 in there. So if you wanted something else, I don't know if you can add it to the poll or not. But if you want something else, just say that you vote for something else, like moulange, MOOLANGE, or something like that. So, yep, there we go. My favorites don't matter, Jules. We're asking you guys to name it. All right, poll is up. Dinner bell's ringing. Have a great week, everyone. Nice stream. You too, Tom. And Tom, let us know if you're going to be live streaming again. That would be cool to check out. All right, so let's check out this burger. The egg is bigger than everything. That arepa is hot still. So here we go. Let's try this. Oh my God, that's stupid good. The thing that makes this really, really good is the fact that you have the alma habana as the top bun, which is like a baked good. You have the arepa. For those of you who have not had arepa is sort of like, it's like somewhere between a pupusa and a corn cake. You know, it's like that texture and everything. Oh my God, this is outstanding. Now, I didn't really use any spices. I didn't even put like salt and pepper or anything on that. That is outstanding. That is really good and really simple to make. Now don't ask me, like if you want to make this, like Val, can you post a recipe? You saw me make it, right? So here's the thing. You can make that, change it up or do it whatever way you want, or just, do it a little bit differently and everything. Mix, change the ratio. of ground beef to morcilla. Do something a little bit different. But just that beef mixed with the blood sausage, the flavors together, oh my God, it's just so good. You don't really need any kind of spices or anything on any of the rest of the dish because there's so much flavor in that. The egg gives it a certain flavor. That hagao gives it a really nice flavor. It's just outstanding. So you don't miss the lettuce, you don't miss the tomato, you don't miss like ketchup, mayo, anything like that. It's really, really good. So you guys saw me make it. Really easy to make. You guys can make that at home. But like I said, change it up. Kind of like, Val, I can't get alma habanas where I am. I can't get arepas where I am. Use a use a concha. Use a pan dulce or something like that. Use something different. If you don't necessarily want it to be, Colombian or even Latino, just use something different. But you get the general idea. But the combination of these things together, really, really good. The huepa burger, huepa. Yeah, or when people get excited, you want to call it the huepa burger. Oh, so somebody likes to murder cow. Let's see. Show us the cross section, you monster. Murder cow melange is my vote, especially since I made it up. All right. The huepa burger. Oh, actually, the huepa burger would be a good idea because we're using all Colombian stuff in here. The huepa burger would be a good idea. Unfortunately, I couldn't add that in the 4. Vaca Colombiana seems to be like it's at 60%, so that's winning. The H is silent, and the whole thing is pronounced like a W. Well, I guess U-E, huepa. Huepa! The huepa burger. I like that. I like the huepa burger. But, I can't, what we can do? All right, so it looks like up to now, 60% people like Vaca Colombiana, right? So that seems to be the winner. So let's do a new poll. There's Vaca Colombiana. Didn't seem to be 10. Val Special got 10%. McTrippy got 30%. That's not much. Colombia Mac got 0%. All right, so let's end that poll, and let's do a new poll, and let's do Vaca Colombiana, murder cow melange, because it looks like there was multiple votes for that, and the huepa burger. Huepa. That gets my vote. The huepa burger, because it's just like such a Colombian thing. I didn't know how to spell it. Okay, what should we name the burger? So now it's between Vaca Colombiana. What is it? Well, all right, you guys can vote. All right, for the previous one is 60% for the Vaca Colombiana, so we moved that one over with these other two. Now we have murder cow melange, the huepa burger, and I can't remember what the other one was. All right, so somebody asked for a cross section of this. Let's do that, so you guys can see that cross section. I was a little bit concerned that the arepa would not be sturdy enough to hold this together, but it holds together quite nicely. All right, here we go with a cross section. Get ready for your screenshots. Here we go. Now, we didn't try the potatoes. Let's try the potatoes. So? Okay, guys, my feelings won't be hurt. We'll see. We'll see what comes up. The Pop's Burger, Chaotic, Kangle. Which of my grandchildren is that? All right, so here is one of the Papas Criollas. Again, Claudia makes them. I think she fries them, and this I made in the oven. So let's try this. Oh my God, that's so good. The outside is kind of crispy. The inside, light, puffy, buttery. McTrippy sounded the best. Well, vote for it, I think. Well, maybe it's not in there. It didn't get as many votes. Oh, that is a delicious burger. I mean, really, look at that. Now, if I was going to knife and fork this, I would have left it with a runny yolk. But again, I didn't want to bite into it and then have the yolk just go everywhere. So I kind of did it, I don't know, well done yolk. Otherwise, that beef and the morcilla together, so good. So good, but not as good as my beautiful wife is what he meant to say. Exactly. Oh, the suggestion my wife came up with was perfect. You couldn't have a more perfect one than the one my wife came up with. There's a chef at Chancla. She coming up behind me. I'm just eating the crap out of this because it's delicious. And the agao. Agao is like a really popular topping here, especially for like, even meats and stuff. I'm going to a restaurant that have meats and stuff. Sometimes it will have agao on top of it, but everything is just easy to make. That burger's delicious. I have more. Let's see. How much more beer do I have? So you do need to refajo this. I'm not going to put the aguardiente in here, though. Not this time. Now, if I was going to do something different on that burger, the hot dog, I'm going to leave it alone. If I was going to make it just for me, I might add some stuff to it. I might take some stuff out of it. I might make it a little bit differently. The burger, because the burger is my own invention, I could change it up. I could make it a little bit different. So the thing that I could add to it is something that adds a little bit of a kick. And so what I would do to add a little bit of kick to it, and I was going to do that today, but the little groceries around here, they don't have. I wanted to use ají amarillo or ají rojo, which are those. You've seen me eat those before. They're the chilies that grow here in Colombia, the local chilies. So you have the amarillo and the rojo. I wanted the rojo. The rojo has a really nice pepper flavor and it has some heat. And I just kind of wanted to chop a little bit of that and put that in there to kick it up a little bit. So I think if I was going to make this again, if I went out to the El Mercado on Saturday, pick up some ají rojo, chop that up a little bit and put that in there. Maybe add it to the hagao afterwards. Not cook it with the hagao, but add it to the hagao afterwards, and just to kind of give it more of a kick. Those things are actually pretty hot. Let's see. Claudia, how did he get a glass straw? No, I think Claudia says at Dollar City, Jules, about an hour away. That's not her question. Her question is, how is he allowed to handle a glass straw? Why does he handle the glass? Well, okay, so funny. So we were down in the village today, and there was a vendor that was selling clay pots, I guess, clay pots for like plants and stuff. And we got a bunch of clay pots. So there were two small ones, and Claudia carried those in a bag. And then there was a big one. It was about that big that Claudia had me carry. So I'm walking across cobblestones carrying this clay pot. So Jules, you're asking, how did I get a glass straw? And yet I was walking across cobblestones with this clay pot. So, Dollarama. Exactly, Jules. And the funny thing about Dollarama is, and I think I touched on this last week because I think some of the stuff that we had was from Dollar City. Dollar City is actually owned by Dollarama. And for those who don't know the story, when Claudia and I were in Quebec, there was a huge Dollarama. And so we wanted to go. We just never got a chance to go while we were there. But we would drive past it and go, Dollarama. And then so finally, one of the times we went to Vancouver, BC, and there was a Dollarama there, but it was like the size of this kitchen. And so we're like, hey, look, Dollarama, we should go in and check it out. We went in there, like 5 minutes later, came out and went, Dollarama. But Dollarama is, Dollar City here in Colombia, Dollar City is owned by Dollarama. So like when you go in there and you buy stuff, there's a little sticker on there and it might still say Dollarama on it. All right, let's see how we're doing on votes. I see Murder Cow at 45%, but that's not the high. How do I see the whole? I don't want to end. Did I just end that? I did not just end that. Okay, so Vaca Colombiana came back in at 18%. The Huepa Burger came in at 36%. The Murder Cow Melange came in at 46%. So I think we have to call it the Murder Cow Melange because that came in at 46%. Vaca Colombiana did well on the previous poll, but against the Huepa Burger and Murder Cow Melange, they didn't really do that well. So Murder Cow Melange it is. So from this point forward, this burger shall be known as the Murder Cow Melange. Sounds horrible. All right. Well, we're about done. I almost spilled my drink. We're about done. I can't think of anything else that we need to do, but it was fun doing this. I enjoyed doing this. Let me know, I don't think you can leave comments now, but after the video post, after the video of the live stream post, I think you can put comments on there. So leave a comment and let me know in the comments, did you enjoy doing a Cooking with Val? And would you like to see more of these Cooking with Vals? And do you have any ideas of something you would like to see me cook? Just keep in mind, it has to be something that I can get in Colombia. So if you're going to say can you do a Kraft mac and cheese with something in it? No, I can't because I can't get Kraft mac and cheese down here. But let me know. Leave a comment afterwards and let me know if you liked it, if you enjoyed it, the things you didn't like, things you did like, and things you would like to see. So do that. And again, I just like changing it up every once in a while. We might go back to doing, our regular 8 snacks, adult beverage, soft drink next week. I don't know. Maybe we'll do something a little bit different. But just like to change it up every once in a while. I like to keep it fun and keep it light. Hope that we learn something, but we don't have to. You might accidentally learn something. But anyways, fun to do and fun to do it with you guys. So you guys are you're the best community I could ask for. I mean, seriously, every week. We just have such a good time. Nobody gets, belligerent or crazy or, goes off the rails or violates our rules. It's just such a great group. I really appreciate every one of you guys. And I thank you for coming along with the ride. How long are you going to do this, Val? As long as I physically can. As long as I still have a voice in my head, hands that can chop things besides fingers, I will continue to do this. I will continue to do the travel video. I want to figure out how to do live streams with travel involved, like travel videos and everything. I've got to work on that one, on how we can do that. But I'd like to do that. If you have other ideas or something, let me know. So I do appreciate your support. I appreciate your support through the years. It's just that you're a great community. And I really appreciate it being able to do this channel. So what I would ask of you is if you have not subscribed to the channel and you enjoy it, go ahead and subscribe. Also, some of the other people like Nashies, Janice Yamanaka, old guy in Colorado, who are members of the community that we all know, they have some great channels too. If you don't know who their channel, what their channel is, or if you don't know what the channel is about, if you go to our main YouTube page, you scroll down to featured channels, you'll see them in there. And just click on it, watch some of the videos and everything, and we think you'll like them. And when you do like them, just do the same as you do with us. Is subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and leave comments. So again, we're waiting for people to give us milestones. If you have milestones, let us know. If you got a birthday coming up, let us know. If you have an anniversary coming up, let us know. If you Doodle and Canelo. Come here. Doodle, the Prince of Darkness. If your channel reaches a milestone, 7,000 subscribers, 2,000 subscribers, whatever it is, let us know. If you've got something interesting coming up, like I asked Tom if he's going to start to do the live streams of him cooking again, let us know, and we support you on that. So I want to thank each and every one of you. This is just so much fun, and it's the high point of my week. I really, really appreciate it, and I thank you all for joining us. So just remember, when you get out there this week, that it's crazy out there. So please be careful. Take care of yourselves. Take care of others. Take care of Doodle, and we'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.